Are you guys going to have an even more fantastic panel right now? Yeah, are you guys excited about our guest? I'm not going to take up any more of the time. Let me bring out the panel host first, and he can introduce his guest. Please give a warm welcome to Mr. Kevin Lyle.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back, Kevin. You started a little late, so I'm not going to do any hubbub. Just get out of here, okay? Ladies and gentlemen.
Extra large, extra large, extra large.
From Star Wars, Willow, and the Star Wars Celebration host himself is probably going to judge me because I'm not nearly as good as him, Mr. Warwick Davis! How's it going, sir?
It's very good. How are you?
I'm well. I'm doing really good.
Good afternoon, everyone. How you doing? Yeah. You always know you're in America because everyone hoops and hollers. In the UK, we go, yes, well done, thank you.
In America, they can hoop and holler.
They can. I love it.
How you guys doing?
Hello. Oh, you hoop and holler. They're very well
They
trained.
do it better for you. They do it better for you than for me. So how's it going? Is this a question I've been asking everybody? Is this your first time in Nashville? You've been here before?
I've never been here before.
Okay.
It's very nice. Everyone's very warm, very welcoming, as they are in this room. Hoop and holler, cue.
How about that Nashville barbecue?
Oh, it was very nice. Woo! Yeah. It was a strange environment, though. We were having a Nashville barbecue in a kind of McDonald's corporate headquarters. So Ronald McDonald was sat at the side. We weren't eating his food.
I walked in the room and I was like, because Mike was taking out a great dinner. And I'm like, I saw the McDonald's and I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I know, but they catered it. It's great food from a place in downtown.
It was very nice. Yeah, very. Everything came from Nashville. The beer, the chicken, the what else did we have? Oh, there was some wonderful dessert.
Yeah, it was
A pokey pudding or something.
vanilla wafer pudding.
Vanilla wafer pudding, banana. Or a banana pudding, as I would say.
All right, now before they kill me, can we talk about Star Wars?
Might they kill you? We've got to do everything.
We're not
here,
talking about Star Wars yet.
This is Hogwarts to somewhere else, isn't it?
Talking about Hogwarts?
No, the name of this panel is called Hogwarts to Endor and Beyond.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
So
who's the host?
he told me backstage, he's like, we'll see how you do. And I guess we're going to find out. But look, they're all wearing Star Wars shirts. Is there any Hogwarts shirts out there?
No.
Is there one?
Oh gosh,
But so
they're turning ugly already.
no, it's not turning ugly already.
It is. Can't you feel it?
Watch, no, watch. I'm gonna do it. So you were kind of like we're roughly the same age, so we kind of grew up watching Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back. We had the toys, we had the shirts, we loved the movies, and then it went a little better for you because when you were
Look where you are.
What?
Look where you are. Look where I am. Actually, though, we're on the same stage, so and we're the same age, are we?
Roughly, I think we're about the same.
So what do you reckon? Who's doing better?
Oh my God! You and I will have it out, sir.
So what's your first question?
I forgot. No. How'd your Star Wars story begin? I think you and I, well, fans growing up, a lot of guys in the room, guys and gals in the room, grew up watching in the 70s and 80s, but I guess 82, 81, you got well, you can tell the story from there, how you got involved in Star Wars.
Do you want to tell it, or shall I? I'll tell the story. Let's do it.
You know, I've interviewed James Arnold Taylor, too, from Celebration,
you?
and he was much nicer.
Was he? Oh, he's very nice. He is a very nice man. So let me think. Well, you all know this story, don't you?
No.
Come on, somebody must. Do you know the story? You
We'll
do.
tell it if you want.
Come up here. Come on. Get here. Come on, climb up there. Sit there.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's, what's your name?
John Cousins.
Don something or other, he said.
Otherwise known as Warwick Davis. Okay, so, Warwick, tell me, how did you get the pie in Star Wars?
Had to do with cookies and milk and Princess Leia, right?
Well,
Do you want me to do it? Do you want me to do
that
it?
happened afterwards, yeah.
Do you want me to do it?
Oh, you know, do you?
Okay, so when Warwick Davis
Can I
was
just check
about...
something? Has this guy been cleared through security? He's very close to me right now.
Tim, where are you at?
Tim.
Thank you.
How you going now? He's gone. You understand? He couldn't wait to get down.
They're not going to want to hear me talk about it. They've been listening to me all
So,
weekend.
I'll do this quickly.
Quickly.
Okay, my grandmother was listening to the radio, doing the washing up. I'm embellishing now. An announcement came on from Lucasfilm. They were looking for short people to be in the new Star Wars movie. So my nan heard the word Star Wars and little person, knew I loved Star Wars, and suggested to my mum she phone the number in the commercial. My mum did, and they said, sorry, we've got everyone we need. So I don't know whether mum offered them cash, I don't know what she said, but they said, well, bring Warwick up to the studios, would love to meet him. So I went up to the studios, all enthusiastic. The secretary said, so, do you like Star Wars? I went, yeah. She said, do you want to play an Ewok? I said, what's one of them? Well, you're going to find out in 5 minutes when you get them measured up for a costume. And that was it. That was my start in this business. Without that moment, I wouldn't be here right now. So I thank my grandmother for everything, my whole career, basically. So that, as they say in the business, was my lucky break. And I've had many of those along the way, but that was the one that started it all. So that's the answer.
You were 12 when it started?
I was 11.
You were 11, so you're old enough to remember. So like, what was that first day like? I guess, were you on the set? Were you in California?
So first day on set for me was in the Endor set. So the villages in the trees was a set at Elstree Studios, polystyrene trees, real wood little bridges, you know, exactly as you see it in the movie. So I met my heroes really that day, Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher. But all I did was see them as the characters. So I couldn't see Harrison Ford, he was Han Solo stood over there. And Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia. So yeah, just between takes I didn't understand that you don't do this kind of thing. I would just wander up to them and say, hey, how's it going? Have a quick chat. And you're not supposed to do that to the big stars in a movie. But they actually loved it. They were very accommodating to my questions. You know, can I have a look at your lightsaber, that kind of thing. And
you made that side movie, The Return of the Ewok.
Oh, Return of the Ewok, that's right, yeah. Yeah, so David Tomlin, who was the first assistant director, he kind of would sort of wake up at night and have this idea of creating a short film based on me getting the role in Star Wars, a kind of fictional version of that. And it was called Return of the Ewok. So he borrowed a 16mm camera. In lunch breaks and after work, we started shooting this film about me getting the part in Star Wars. And Mark and Harrison and Carrie, they all volunteered their time to be part of it. There's cameos from Frank Oz as Yoda. It was an incredible little film. Bits of it have been released on DVDs, but never the whole thing. But it's yeah, quite special.
There's a version on YouTube.
Yeah, I think they kind of cobbled it together from times I've shown it at conventions and stuff. So it does exist in a form, but I'm the only person with a full version.
Okay. Now we've been like 10 minutes into it. How am I doing?
You're doing good, actually. Yeah, very good. Yeah,
I
a little bit casual the way you're sat, though.
Well, you want me to be casual, do you?
I don't know.
This morning I had somebody who said they were very intimidated by me, and I was just trying to be as casual as possible because I'm big and I have a deep voice. You know, you want me to like be more. But
stay there.
Actually, to be honest, one of the best things I've done as a stage host, I stole an idea from you that you did with Carrie, where you reenacted your scenes with her from Return of the Jedi. I did it with Anthony Forrest, who's the sand trooper. These aren't the droids we're looking for. He's actually he's here this weekend, and he'll be on this panel at the stage tomorrow. But I reenacted his scene with a bunch of people, and everyone thought I was crazy for doing it. I'm like, no. If Warwick Davis can do it, and it's funny. I think I can do it. Mine wasn't as funny as yours because you had great props and stuff. All I had was a kid in a yellow shirt pretending he was C-3PO.
That's good. I like that. Yeah.
Well, so I stole it from you, so I don't borrowed it.
Yeah, I used to call that segment Stage Wars.
Stage Wars. Okay,
Yeah.
use that.
You can have that name as well.
You already said that, so it's not stinging.
Yeah, I reenacted the scene from episode 1 with Ray Park. So I was Qui-Gon Jinn in that. And instead of the beams across, we had cellophanes that people would run into. And I think I hung off the stage at one point and tried to leap up.
And you had a guy in this audience help you get up, I remember, because I was one row behind.
I didn't know it was quite so high. I threw myself off and couldn't get back on. Someone lift me up.
I think that was Orlando, right? Was it Orlando?
I don't know, I did it, I kept using the same gag, so I did it in several places.
How many
Star Wars weekends.
How many hosts have you done for celebrations? It's got to be.
I've done 4 or 5.
4 or 5 is a lot.
But I mean, people thought I just kind of rocked up and asked questions, but I spent months before writing the shows, producing the video segments. I mean, it's a lot of work. And
yeah. I did the same thing. I'm casual. Like
you are casual. I like your style. Do you like your style? Yeah, they love you, man.
I've done panels. These guys can bounce. I've done panels all weekend wearing Star Wars T-shirts for you. For you, I wore a button-down shirt.
You've gone posh on me. That's what.
I got a partial look.
Posh.
Oh, posh. It's an English
It's
word.
going well. So, other than Star Wars, what movies were you into? Before or since? What's like your favorite movie?
What movies am I into?
What's that?
I like comedies. Anything with love Chevy Chase's older work.
Yeah.
Obviously Steve Vai and John Candy, Planes, Trains, Automobile's favourite film.
Yeah.
That's a great film.
Absolutely. And what else? Will Ferrell movies. Yeah, that's my guilty pleasure, watching his stuff.
Have you worked with him?
Never, no, I've never met him either. Should I? I'm a bit worried if he might be not very nice.
No. He's a good guy in real life.
Good.
I've never met him. Anyway, so you did Star Wars, and then a couple years after that, George Lucas called you again and did something else.
Yeah, what was next? The Ewok movies were next.
Oh, I guess, yeah, you're right, the Ewoks
So we did those two, and then Labyrinth came after that, surely. George was involved, and Jim Henson. Yeah, that was a fun project. Yeah, it's lovely. So got to work with Jim and
then 87, 88 you had.
Then Willow was next.
Oh, that
Yeah, lots of moving on it, thank you.
was, how did that come about? Did George call you up and say, I've got something years down the road, or did you already have it?
In '83, he said to my mum, when we were doing Ewok movies, I've got this idea for Warwick, but he's not quite old enough yet. In 1987, it turned out that idea was Willow. But I still had to audition, even though it was written for me. Because Ron Howard, as director, said, you know, Warwick's great, but I don't think he's old enough to play the character. The character's, a father, and I was 17 at the time. So he started to audition all over the world. And finally, I did one last audition in Los Angeles, up against other actors playing Mad Bartigan. So they wanted to find the chemistry. So I was auditioning all day. We had different actors come in. John Cusack came in, and then Val was one of them. So when Val turned up, he kind of came in all dishevelled looking. He was sunburned because he'd driven his car from New Mexico without a roof. And then he was all scruffy, he kind of just staggered in, and we did the scene in the cage at the crossroads, if you remember the film. So we did that a couple of times. And then at the end of that day, George and Ron came and said, Warwick, we want you to play Willow. And that was it. Yeah, so
that was great.
I kind of passed the test.
Excellent. So what was that set like? There's some great players in that.
Well, I mean, it was quite an adventure just making the film. We shot all over the world, from America to London to New Zealand. It was an epic shoot, absolute epic shoot. I mean, one little fact I love, if you remember the film, we escape to a mountaintop and go into a house, a little hut, and in that hut we go down into the basement. So the actual hut was on a mountain in New Zealand, the basement was in a studio in London. So we go down these stairs from New Zealand and emerge at the bottom of the stairs in London. So that's quite incredible.
The magic of Hollywood. But that was a great, what was it, 88 that movie? That was a great
1988, yeah.
And after that we had the Leprechaun series.
Yeah, then I was desperate for work after that, as you can tell.
Oh, come on, they made like 6 of them, right?
They did, they were desperate, they didn't know where to go. We went to space, they went to Hood twice. So, and then we stopped, well I did anyway. They've since carried on, but I haven't seen the new ones. Anyone seen the new Leprechaun movies?
No, why would we?
Obviously very successful.
And then I guess so moving towards the mid-90s, you get a call again from Lucasfilm.
Mid-90s, what was that then? Are we talking about the new Star Wars films? Oh yeah, the prequels, that was the next one. Sorry, to me now Star Wars is like a blur, there's so much of it in my head. It sounds very blasé, I know, but yeah, episode 1 was next, so off to Tunisia. Well, I'd been actually messaging George for years. We didn't have like phones to message, so I'd keep sending him faxes. I think he was so sick of changing the fax roll, because I sent him so many messages, that he said, okay, you can be in the film. So he kind of came up with this character, Wobbled, who's Anakin's best friend. And then whilst we were filming, he said, I'm sorry, Warwick, you've done Willow and now I've put you back in a rubber head. So let's make another character for you, which was Weasel, watching the pod race, that kind of long-haired guy. who since came back in another Star Wars movie in Solo, which I thought was cool.
Yep.
That's the same character?
That's the same character, but older, yeah.
Wow, I thought I knew my Star Wars. Did you know that?
The same guy.
I got a good friend over there. He's a big Star Wars guy like myself. And I didn't know. Did you guys know that was the same character?
Nope. No.
It is. It's Weasel, the same guy.
Do you know what I always heard about that character? I heard that character was Willow. Because you have the
Oh,
same,
really?
pretty much
Well-
the same kind of wig. And it's
Well,
you.
ILM, when they were doing the pod race sequence and they would cut to me as Weasel, they would call that the Willow shot. That's what it was named.
No, but I thought there was a comic or a fan comic or something like that where they actually told the story that, Willow went off and did something and he ended up in the Star Wars universe.
Well, that's weird, isn't it? Or some wormhole somewhere. Oh, we did have portals in the series, didn't we? I could have gone through a portal.
Yeah, there you
Very
go.
cool.
Right.
Right, I'm just going to sit back on the chair, which worries me. I said this the other day, that I've trodden in something, I'll see the bottom of my feet. All clear?
Nice
All
and
good. You can't see the L and the R on my feet. I should do that for fun one day.
There it goes.
Okay. So now I'm looking casual like you. Casual like on the chair.
Well, here, I'll try to be more.
So where were we? I forgot what we were talking about.
We were talking about the Phantom Menace and your return to the Star Wars universe.
The Phantom Menace. Indeed, yes. So I did that film.
So did
What do you want a story about it, or did I just?
Oh yeah, story would be great. A little
Okay,
anecdote.
so we're doing this scene where we're watching the pod race. So I'm sitting in a set which is just a grandstand. Some aliens around and I'm sat there. And AD now and again goes, right, the pod's flying through and it's gone by. And at that point they blast some air at you from an aircraft propeller to simulate the kind of backdraft of the pod going by. Got very bright light shining in our faces from the twin suns, of course. And an alien's coming round serving kind of snacks. So each time she comes by in a take, I take some crisps, which were kind of regular kind of chips that have been dyed to look like alien chips. And this drink, which was a mixture of fruit juices all poured into one to make a weird concoction. So I'd take some of these chips, a sip of the concoction. Okay, repeat that about 30 or 40 times, you'd have chronic indigestion. I felt so ill. And then the bright light shone in my face, so I laid my head back and I just fell asleep. And I woke up to a tapping on my foot, looked down, it was a bearded man with a plaid shirt on. It was George going, Warwick, what are you doing? I've got you in my movie and you're asleep. And so I feel really ill. And so I was pretty embarrassed by that.
And then you had to, obviously you had the Rhodian outfit on. You had to wear in the desert. That must have been really.
Well, yeah, I did a bit of Rhodian in the desert, but at the same time, I had a lot of days off in Tunisia. So instead of sitting at the hotel, I went out to set to kind of watch. And George said to me, "Hey Warwick, what are you doing here?" I said, "Well, I'm off today. I'm just come to watch." He said, "Well, we can't have you here doing nothing. Go get yourself a costume and make yourself look different." So I went back to wardrobe and gathered all my costumes together, kind of mixed them up, went to makeup and said, "Make me look different." They paid stubble on me, did things, and so then I went out into the set, and it was the day that Annie Leibovitz was there doing some photography. So I managed to kind of sneak in there as this kind of character they since named Grimy. Very creative, huh? And so there was another character kind of wandering the streets of Mos Espa.
So that's great. Now we're going to be opening the audience for questions. So I think we got Longwater's going to come out.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
They don't
Where's
know they're
Longwater?
ready,
Right.
do they?
And just show of hands. Does anybody have a question?
Oh, there are some questions.
I'm coming right up here to the front. Just stand, please.
Hi, sir. I'm Michael. I'm here with my mom, Sheila. We love all the fandom stuff and Knickerbrick and Narnia, but my favorite performance of yours is actually your role as yourself in Life's Too Short. I'm curious what inspired your characterization of yourself. What was that like? It's great fun.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you. So in Life's Too Short, I play a version of myself. I know the idea came about was
Through documentary companies.
documentary companies wanting to make a documentary about me and
I thought when
I'm holding in the right place, are they?
Hold tight. She tight.
Right.
She tight.
That's better. Thank you. I've got your slobber on the end of this.
You're like brutal to me today. You know that? I'm a nice guy. I learned how to be a host from you. I learned from watching you.
You've done very well. You need to
Thank you.
insult the guest a bit more then. That's
You
my
want it, I
style.
get it.
Yours is actually softer than mine.
Do you want
That's
do you want
good.
here? Take the new fresh one. This is the new
Fresh.
Just for you.
You're gonna get the mulled up now. The one that works.
Because
Hello.
the abusive celebrity needs a brand clean new mic.
Just a minute now. I think this one's EQ'd slightly differently to make him sound better.
Kevin Lyle will never sound better.
Thank you.
Never sound better.
So do you do a YouTube thing?
No.
No. Why do I keep saying that to you?
What? Say what?
I said it yesterday thinking you were on YouTube.
Most people think I have a radio voice, and so I should be doing. I don't.
You got a good face for radio anyway.
Just keep in mind, you're famous for wearing a mask. I didn't watch out. Because you can say what you want. You can say what you want. I say the wrong thing. They'll kill me in the bar tonight. You can get away with anything. Well, do we answer his question? I forget.
Oh yeah, I was halfway through when you interrupted. Okay, what are we saying? Life's too short.
We have totally forgotten Life Too Short.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. So, documentary companies were approaching me saying, we want to follow you around with a camera. I said, well, no, I'm not sure. And then the more companies that said it to me, I thought, well, maybe I should do the documentary myself. At least I can control what we film and what we don't film. So I decided in the end, it'd be funny to film it and manipulate the reality. Kind of make out that I have a massive house, massive car, which I didn't, and just manipulate those realities for the documentary. And then it started to turn into a comical idea, and that's how Life's Too Short was born. I shot a few scenes where I played this really obnoxious version of myself and really enjoyed doing it, and that's what I took to Ricky and Stephen, which they absolutely loved, and they said, we want to do more of this. And then just sat with them for a few weeks, told stories about my life, stuff that happens to me every day, and they would take those moments and kind of embellish them into funny scenes. So one of the scenes you'll see in Life's Too Short, do you have them in America, a little hole in the door where you can see who's there?
Yeah. Peephole.
Okay, yeah. Well, that sounds rude. It's a spy hole, we call it.
Hey, Longwater, do you want to finish this interview?
I'm enjoying watching him have his way with you.
See, that sounds wrong in itself.
That's worse than what I just said.
That's worse than that. Can I just say one thing here? We shouldn't have this on the internet, but I was in the lift the other day with my girlfriend. She was holding 2 cans of soda, and the guy in there said, oh, you're double fisting. What the hell's that about?
It just means you have two. It's actually in this country. It just means you have 2 drinks, one in each hand. You usually drink with just one hand.
Oh, I see.
You're an alcoholic, so you were drinking with 2. Double fisting.
Oh, God. Just got. Can we turn the AC up in here?
Oh
I
man.
don't know where I was. Where am I now? Oh, the people. Oh, peephole, you called it that. So the spy hole in the door. So I told him a story about my house, and I said, we had a guy come and fit a spy hole for us, and he started to drill, and I said, no, I want it down there. And we put it in the door, and then my height, and then I said, right, let's test this out. So look through the hole, and I couldn't see the guy's face because it was right up here. Just see his groin. So you can't identify a pizza delivery man from his groin, unless you know him really well. And that was it. So they took that scene and put it in Life's Too Short, but then they took it one stage further. So we put the hole up high. I said, no, it's got to be lower. The guy fills it all in again, makes it look good, puts it lower. I can only see the groin. Then we cut later on. I said, it's got to go back up where it was. So later on we cut to me answering the door, and the guys put some steps on the back of the door. So I walk up the steps to look through the spy hole, and then when the door's open, I'm on the steps and I go with the door. You can see the clip on YouTube if you haven't got the series. Just look up Warwick Davis. Don't look up Warwick Davis peephole, whatever you do. That's a whole nother search.
If you're gonna do that, look up the Warwick Davis, Liam Neeson, and Jimmy Gervais. What's his? Ricky Gervais. Sorry.
Yeah.
That one is
Oh, the
hilarious.
outtakes.
Yeah, that's just so
Crazy,
funny.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's really great. Do we Longwater? We got the guy in the funny hat. I'm just kidding. He's a friend of mine.
So we're following a chronology here, but we didn't actually get to the Harry Potter stuff. How did you land that role and things like that?
Okay, Harry Potter.
Oh, so there are Harry Potter fans here.
There's one. Thank you. More holler and hooping, I love it. guys follow me around. Actually, second thoughts. Okay, so Harry Potter. The book was a huge success. And people started saying to me, there must be something in there for you when they make a movie of this. And so it came about they were going to audition for people for the movie. So they asked me to go in to read for this role of Professor Flitwick. So the night before the audition, I bought the book, quickly skimmed through to Flitwick, kind of tried to understand who this guy was, and went in and did the audition of the pages they'd given me. So in an audition, you normally have the director, the producer, maybe the casting directors as well. So I went in, did the scene with the Wingardium Leviosa feather levitation. Played opposite the director, Chris Columbus. So we did the scene a couple of times, then we just started improvising. There was lots of laughter in the room, which was a good sign. And then I went away. They said, thanks very much. Don't call us, we'll call you. So I left the room, really hoping I had the part. The trouble is, when you really want a part as an actor, you usually don't get it, because they kind of smell the desperation. So I was just like, I really want this to be fun. So I went away. 3 weeks later, I remember the phone call. My agent said, hey Warwick, you remember you went for Harry Potter? They'd love you to play Professor Phileas Flitwick. I said, well wait there, that's not it. They'd also love you to play the Goblin Bank Teller as well. So I got 2 roles for the price of 1. But I didn't get paid twice. And that was it. So during the filming as well, I was then offered the part of Grip Hook's voice for the first movie, because his embodiment was played by the lovely Vern Troyer. And so they wanted the Goblin voices to kind of have some sort of synergy across the whole thing. So I'd done the Goblin Bank Teller. So they said, well, you do a Grip Hook voice for us as well. And the Grip Hook in the first movie was Vern, so he was very, very tiny. So I kind of pitched it, key please. I pitched it very high. But then later on, when I played Grip Hook in the full body version, I then also pitched his voice down, because he was a slightly more menacing character. So it wouldn't have sounded quite right him speaking up there. And that was it, yeah.
We got a question on this side?
I'm coming over this way.
I like watching Longwater just run back and forth. It's like,
There he goes.
that's my boss, and I like to do this to him.
I'm coming right over this way. Please stand.
Hi, pleasure to hang out with you and listen to all your stories. It's amazing. What was it like for you working with David Bowie on The Labyrinth, and what character did you play?
So I played a couple of characters in Labyrinth. One was called Bumpot.
What was it?
Bumpot. B-U-M-P-O-T, Bumpot. The other was called World War II, WW2, because his face was a bit like a gas mask kind of thing. David Bowie, what was he like? He's very nice. I mean, obviously he had that big 80s hair, so he was quite intimidating when he walked on set. He was also smuggling a few pairs of socks. But no, he's a really nice guy, and it's really wonderful just to watch him miming to the songs that he recorded for those sequences. Yeah, it was cool, fun. And also the puppeteers that work with Henson's are such fantastic people. And I was only 15 then, so to get to hang out with those guys, they're such fun. It was really fun.
Yeah, Jim Henson, great.
Genius,
Great.
absolutely, yeah.
I knew his wife, he was a great guy. So the next question? Right over here, Longwater.
I'm coming this way.
Faster, come on, we started late.
Please stand.
Hi, my wife is very jealous of me that I get to ask you a question today. You talked about your opportunity that came from them putting in a paper an ad asking for little people, and like they're going to be in a few years casting this new Harry Potter series, and like your son, which it's now occurring to me why his name is Harrison, was in Rise of Skywalker. But there's this thing going on where people are wanting to be inclusive, but also have representation. But I think in the name of inclusivity, they're maybe saying that they're not going to hire short people for some of these roles. I just wanted to know what you think about that.
Yeah, it's interesting. More recently, you're seeing lots of sort of short fictional characters being portrayed by average-sized actors who have been shrunk digitally. At first I kind of excused it by thinking, well, there's not really the pool of talent to draw from to cast, all the characters in Lord of the Rings, for example. So I kind of excused that for happening, but recently they're doing it more and more, and I just think it looks pretty scary almost. It's just not a good look. And it is a shame, because there's a lot of very talented short actors in the world who are not getting a chance to do what they do. Some of them have trained for years to do this, and they're just not getting a look in. It'd be wrong to cast somebody as a disabled person in a wheelchair with a kind of able-bodied actor, I think. But they do it with short people all the time. So yeah, it's a shame. I mean, I'm not actively kind of campaigning, but no, it'd be nice if my voice was heard on these issues. Thank you.
That was a pretty good question. That was a good question. Who we got next, Warwick? Right there in the center. So just crawl over these people and get to that guy. You guys get crawled over. Please stand.
How was it like to interact with Carrie Fisher throughout the years?
I was good. She was so lovely. If any of you have seen my work on Celebration, interviewing Carrie, I mean, you'll know how lovely she was. I loved her, but I didn't love her dog. Carrie was always attacking me. He didn't trust me at all. Yeah, we'd reenact scenes from the film, particularly where we hid behind the log from the stormtrooper, and Gary would get involved. But yeah, Carrie was lovely to me. She, on the film, became very close. She worried about me in the Ewok costume getting hot. So I was 11 back then, you know, all the hormones were starting to emerge. All these ladies taking interest in me. And if I took the head off, I'd be really, really hot. And then she'd say, would you like some milk and cookies? I'd say, yeah, thank you. Now I'd be all revived. Next time I took the head off, I'd act even hotter. More milk and cookies. I was sick of milk and cookies by the end of this. I had my fill, but no, Carrie was really, really lovely. Good friend, yeah.
Coming down the front.
You are such a profound talent, and so you have the best sense of humor ever. Have you ever played, like, So I'm just curious, have you ever played practical jokes on people on set?
Yes, we had. Oh, I'm sorry.
And if so, share one with us, if you don't mind.
Let me think whether I've ever done anything. I've been around when practical jokes have happened. One of them was on Harry Potter, and I believe the segment is on one of the DVDs. So I don't know how to refer to this. There's an electronic device that simulates the sound of a fart, basically. You press a button on the transmitter, and the receiver makes a fart noise. And it's very, very hilarious. So we had one of these, and it was all the kids are laid on the floor of the Great Hall, sleeping in the Great Hall because there's a troll about. So everyone's in there to be safe. So there's a scene where Alan Rickman walks in, Michael Gambon walks in, and I walk into this situation. And they gave Gambon the button, the transmitter, and they put the receiver, the speaker that makes the fart sound, under Daniel's bag, which he had his head on to dash Daniel. So he's sleeping on this bag, and then, so at the point during the scene, Gambon presses the button, so a fart sound emanates and echoes around the Great Hall. And then, so starting with Daniel, we start to see him quiver, and then the laughter gradually spreads throughout the rest of the kids laying on the floor, and then up to the adults, it should know better as well. So yeah, that was a fun little moment.
That's really great. Thank you.
Great question. Long water yet? Who we got? Raise your hand, please.
You have a question for Mr. Davis? Right ahead.
There's the story of you submitting a list of toys that you'd like to have when you started filming for Jedi.
Yeah.
I think Mark asked you.
Yeah, Mark Hamill asked me. He said, Warwick, do you collect the toys? I said, yeah. And he said, well, list what you haven't got and I'll see what I can do. And so I wrote out 3 letter-sized sheets of paper, including the Millennium Falcon and the Darth Vader figure-carrying case, all the figures. And a couple of days later, he came in with the boxes from Kenner. Wow. Which had all these figures in. The Millennium Falcon, the Darth Vader carrying case. And I've still kept the collection to this day. There is a photo on the internet of me with all these toys, which is lovely. So yeah, one thing I'll never forget, and I see the collection now and I'm like, wow. It's extra special, the fact that Mark got these for me all these years ago. Of course, they're not on their cards. I've lost all the capes. I've lost the kind of lightsabers that popped out of their arms. They've all fallen out, but they're well played with toys.
You are at the best convention in the world to replenish that though. I don't know if you went to the floor at all. We've got everything in
Oh,
there.
they've got it all. It's lovely, yeah. And someone from Ken was here the other day.
Yeah, we got someone here in the front.
Right
question?
here. Please stand. Yeah.
So, working with Dang Maggie Smith, can you tell a funny story with her and what it was like working with her?
Well, the one time I remember, I spent a lot of time with Maggie, mostly at the Great Hall head table. We were all warm and comfortable. It was very nice. One particular time, we were out in the courtyard. I think it was for Deathly Hallows, part 2. So we're all waiting for Voldemort to come around the corner. Hagrid's carrying a kind of unconscious Harry, and he comes, ha ha ha, he's dead! Does all of this. Multiple takes, again and again. So I'm standing there in the rain with Maggie. She's like under her breath moaning, oh, when's he gonna get it right? To Ralph Fiennes kind of thing. I'm thinking, well, that's a great actor. Well, you're a great actress as well, so you shouldn't get away with that sort of thing. But no, she was lovely, and remember Daniel caring about Maggie as well. He'd run over with an umbrella between takes and hold it there for her, even though he was, the star of the movie. That was lovely. Yeah, she's a lovely lady.
All right, Longmore, you got somebody else?
Let's see, we got some questions right over here. I'm coming. We got a young man right here. Please stand. That's Mr. Davis, your question.
Have you ever gotten hurt while you were trying to film something?
Have I been hurt, ever? Well, they try not to hurt you, because most things I've been in, I've been one of the lead actors. So when I was younger, at 11, I always wanted to do my own stunts. So they had to kind of stop me. They're, no, Warwick, it's too dangerous, we'll get someone else. But as you get older, when you get to my age now, 21, you're a little more wary about hurting yourself. So I tend to kind of step back when it comes to action sequences. And my son Harrison is exactly the same height as me. He looks quite similar. So when we did the Willow series, he was my stunt double and stand-in. Yes. And so anytime we need to do some action, I was going to push Harrison. Go on. He actually told me a funny story, because being my stand-in as well and double, he'd have to get there earlier than me. So they call him at like 7 o'clock in the morning. I'd rock up at 9 o'clock. He'd be exhausted. And he used to say, oh great, there goes the limelight. As soon as I walked on set. But he'd been enjoying everyone giving him attention. But no, it's good, I bred my own stunt double.
What was it like, full circle in your Ewok career, what was it like to have him for The Rise of Skywalker to be with you in that scene?
I thought it was a lovely idea. So JJ came to me, he said, we're thinking of putting Wicket in this, but also now he's got a son called Pommet Warwick. So we need 2 Ewoks, and we're thinking maybe your son Harrison could play him. So I think it was Pommet Warwick. So Warwick's the surname. Right. Wicket W. Warwick is Wicket's full name.
Sure.
So his son would be Pommet Warwick. Yeah.
Pommet, what is it?
Pommet. That's a name.
I've understood that. Did they come up with? Did they have a meaning? Or?
No, it's just the name Pommet. Like Wicket just means nothing. It's just Wicket.
I'm going to go to sleep tonight, just like shivering. Just Warwick Davis. We got time for a couple more. This is great. This has been one of the best panels I've ever.
I was going to say something better than even. Okay. I'm not finished the story. Just wait a second.
Oh.
Wicket, and I don't know what it was.
Oh, you were talking about your son became this character called
Pommet
Warwick, and that's where you were.
I think that was the end of it.
Oh, that's where
no, there was going to be more, but it will come to me. Come on, man, I'm 21, I forget stuff.
I'm 21 too, so
Let me just tell you, we're going to go back to Hogwarts for a second, because it relates to Harrison this. So, Harrison was also a goblin in Deathly Hallows Part 2. There's a scene where you see Gringotts again, and it establishes the bank, and across are going 2 little goblins. One was my daughter Annabelle, the other was Harrison. Oh. So they had slip-on masks, they didn't have prosthetics. The shoes were massive. Harrison wore his own shoes inside the goblin shoes because they were so long. And so we did 3 or 4 takes, walking across, and that day, fortunately, I was under the invisibility cloak, so I didn't have to have the makeup on. So I was sort of supervising Harrison. And he'd done a few takes, said, Dad, I'm not doing it anymore, I'm tired. He was 6 then. I said, we've got to do another couple, they haven't got it right. He said, I have got it right. He said, I'm tired and I want something to eat. So I go, I'll get you something to eat. I went to the craft service, which is a table with food and goodies, and I got him a banana. I said to the producer, I said, Harrison's got to eat this banana, he won't do it anymore. So the producer took Harrison, plonked him on his own kind of producer's chair, and Harrison sat there and proceeded to eat a banana. Now, I've never seen anyone eat a banana so slowly. So I've got the producer standing there looking at his watch. What's $10,000 a minute? This banana's going down very slowly. So that was the most expensive banana ever consumed. And then Harrison carried on and got the tape, refueled with potassium.
That's great. What do you got?
Got a question here up front.
I've changed my mind about my question.
Oh, she changed her mind.
I have, yeah. Mad Mardigan,
Yeah.
you yelled at him for giving a Laura Dannon beetroot.
Blackroot.
Blackroot, thank you. Can you? So you remember the line? Can you do the line again?
Oh my gosh, you want me to act now? But I'm not being paid. Mad Mardigan, you never ever give a baby blackroot. Something like that, wasn't it? Blackroot was vanilla. You know raw vanilla, it's like a stick. That's what those were, bits of vanilla.
And she didn't want you, she definitely doesn't need hair on her.
Oh, that's the rest of the line. Thanks for reminding me in a very subtle way. She's the future Empress of Tyrosline, and the last thing she's going to want is a hairy chest. Yeah. Ooh, oh, holla, holla. Oop, oop.
We haven't had a lot of those in a
That was
while.
a little bit sarcastic.
Do we have any more questions from the audience? Way over here, there, or there?
I'm going right back here.
We got you, we got you.
What do you think about the amusement park rides at Universal, Hogwarts, and Star Wars rides? Did you do any work on them?
Okay, so let's think. Oh, this is on again.
Did you do it again? Did you do it? See, notice how the better host doesn't have a problem with his microphone.
Talking too much, this wall out. Hello, hello.
Give me this. I'll try to do. Don't worry, I didn't slobber on this one.
You're using my words now, like slobber.
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 You said it like you. It's slobber.
Slobber. So what was the question? It was something about the rides.
forgotten.
So there's a
Longwater,
ride at
Longwater, what did I
Universal
say?
Kevin turned the microphone
to
off.
do with Gringotts. I don't know what it's called. Go to Gringotts ride. Let's call it that. What's it called?
Escape from Gringotts.
Escape from Gringotts. Don't go there. Escape from it. So there was a funny story about the opening of this. So they invite all the actors. Helena Bonham Carter and her husband Tim Burton were there. So I rode with them on the first ride of Escape from Gringotts. So we're all on this ride. It's very sophisticated, loads of safety features. They've been having some problems, but they had it going for us. So on we all get. We start riding around, it's all amazing. And then there's a point in the ride, spoiler alert, where it kind of goes down a big drop into a hole. And we were halfway down that drop and it just stopped. So we're all hanging kind of on a vertical like that, it stopped. And they came over to speak and said, we have a problem, the safety's kicked in. Just stay where you are. Well, we're not even getting out, are we? You know, we're hanging vertically. So eventually Tim Burton gets so bored he starts to climb out of the carriage. So everyone for Universal was like going nuts trying to say, no, stay there. So I sat there and waited patiently. And eventually we got it going and finished the ride, but it was a bit embarrassing for Universal. But it's all working now if you want to go, it's fab, it's great. And I'm in the ride as well, you see Grip Hook as a silhouette. And I think you see us in the, what is that? Thief's Downfall waterfall sequence is in there. Yeah, it's really fun as an act to become part of a theme park ride is cool as well, it's really cool. Almost as cool as becoming a Lego minifigure. And I'm about 7 or 8 minifigures now, which is great.
Wow.
I think I hold the record as the actor with the most minifigures. Oh yeah.
We have time for one more question, and we got it right here in the front row.
It's got to be a good question. If it's no good, I'm not going to answer.
What would be your dream role to play and why?
Oh, there you go.
Well, that's not too bad, is it? I was expecting a mic drop and me leaving.
Well, we got 25 seconds left, so.
25. My favourite role and why?
No, your favorite role.
Dream.
Ideal role. Your
Dream role. For me would be playing a detective of some sort. I love Columbo, so to be a kind of Peter Falk sort of detective would be fab. Some sort of detective, maybe 1920s, 1950s. 1950, let's have some machine guns, some cars, that kind of stuff. I don't know, something something cool, a nice
Maybe we
hat.
could put, this is going out on YouTube. So
Is it?
maybe some director will hear it somewhere and they'll make a Columbo series and you can.
Well, you really think someone important's going to watch this?
If I made it, they will. Just one more thing. Just one more thing. Can you say that?
Very good. Just one more thing.
There you go.
I know, like twang, but
I want to thank you for being here and joining us for this panel. You're going to be here for the rest of the weekend signing.
I sure will. I'm in my little room down the end where no one can find me.
And so you guys can go there and be abused by you, or is it just me?
No, it'll be just you when you come.
All right, so I'll tell you what. I'm going to remember this panel for the rest of my life,
Well, yeah.
mostly for traumatic reasons.
Good luck with the therapy. Thank you.
Ladies and
Cheers,
gentlemen.
Warren. Thanks so much. Thank you.
Mr. Kevin Lyle, who took a huge beating. Give him a round of applause as well for his ego. Ladies and gentlemen, feel free to stick around and be like, we have the X-Wing Pilots panel coming up next at 4 p.m. We'll see you soon.